Team, keep it clean. I know yesterday was crazy day. But I love y'all. I really do appreciate y'all a lot. Y'all know that. But that's why I say it all the time, just in case you forget. I appreciate y'all. Keep being good people. Keep being good to each other. Keep being kind to people. Keep telling people that you love them. Friends, family, everybody, man. Because people need to hear that, man. People need to hear that. You can just send a little random text to somebody. Hey, I love you. Hey, I appreciate you. Hey, I was just thinking about you. That's it. And it's something that's so simple and so easy and so small, but it makes such a big difference, man. Such a big difference. And that could end up, you don't know somebody having a rough day. They could be going through something and you don't even know about it. But you send them a little small text, call them, text them, whatever. Hey, what's up? Hey, I was just thinking about you. Just want to stop by and say what's up, check on you. That's it. That's it. And it could literally change the trajectory of their entire day. I appreciate y'all. Team, keep it clean. I love y'all. For real. For real. Thank you for everything that y'all do on a daily. Just period, man. Thank you.
Yeah, this feels like a dream. And you know just what I mean. You see my boy, he like gotta made it. Boy, he's a fan and he like the Ravens. And you know just what I mean. You too, team, keep it clean. You see my boy, he like gotta made it. Boy, that's my homie, ain't that right engraving.
I know it's been a long time since we done questions from subscribers, but here we are. First question came from my guy Phil, and appreciate you being a patron, Phil. And I appreciate everybody's patience with questions because we got like a million emails, maybe 1,000,001 emails. And also patrons done sent some stuff too, but I appreciate you guys being so patient. Thank you. Because I have not seen not one person be like, hey, well, you ain't even answered my question yet. Or, hey, I ain't do question. Thank you for being patient. I thank you. Anyway, first question came from my guy Phil. He said, other than your great show, I wouldn't call this show great at all. It's not. We all right, though. I appreciate you. He said, I also watch the Pat McAfee show on YouTube now and then. Recently, they were talking about how over the last 3 months, the Rams have signed Matt Stafford to a $160 million deal, Aaron Donald, $95 million, Allen Robinson, $46 million, and now Cooper Kupp to $110 million, and also Bobby Wagner to $50 million. And that's nearly a $450 million where his crew went arguing about cap space being fake. So this past Friday, this was a little while ago because it wasn't this past Friday, but it was a couple Fridays ago. They had a guest who was a former agent in the former Green Bay front office where he was explaining the contract of Stafford, explaining how Stafford received a $61.5 million signing bonus and how he'll receive an average of $15 million each of the first 2 seasons. Then years 3 and 4 can become void years if the team decides to waive him and move on. Why do you think Baltimore and EDC have to be so cheap on the offensive side of the ball and not be willing to sign a top free agent receiver for Lamar to finally have that number one weapon we've all been waiting for? Thanks. That's an interesting question. But the way that I feel about it, y'all know that I have been wanting them to do that for a while. But I think, especially this offseason, I think the way that the Ravens have moved, they are being extra cautious. The reason I say that they're being extra cautious, I don't agree with it, but it is what it is. I can understand from a business point of view why they're being extra cautious, even though I feel like they should really go for it. But I feel like they're being extra cautious because there's a lot of unknown with their quarterback, Lamar Jackson. Now, it does seem like by his last presser that the Ravens are talking and they may be moving in the right direction as far as a long-term contract with one Lamar Jackson, but we'll see how everything ends up playing itself out. But I think with the uncertainty of how things are going to move forward with Lamar Jackson, that I feel like the Ravens just were like, you know what, we don't want to commit to getting that guy at receiver, even though they had 4 years to do that before. But we don't want to commit to getting that guy at wide receiver for Lamar Jackson if we don't know Lamar Jackson is going to be here for the long term. He said that he wants to be there. The Ravens have said that they want him to be there, but nothing is official till it's official. So I just with them not going out and getting that guy, a lot of times that's in the back of my mind as to why they won't do that. Because they don't know what's going to happen with Lamar. They don't know. They can say what they think is going to happen, what they want to happen, but until it actually happens, nothing's official yet. Now, we expect that Lamar stays with the Ravens, but this is the NFL, and stuff happens. I don't expect him to go anywhere else, but anything's possible till it ain't possible no more. And they just, they got to come correct when it comes to that money, man. Them boys better come correct when it comes to the bread. But still, I think that even with the uncertainty that the Ravens may have with Lamar Jackson, I still think they should have been gone and got that guy. And I'd even been saying that before the Hollywood trade. Y'all know how I feel about that. But I just think the way that they've been moving, because again, I still say that the cap is cap. The cap is cap. If you want somebody, you want to play it, you could make some things happen. You could certainly make some things happen. And I know my guy Vice talks about it all the time. He feels like the Ravens, they plan for the long term instead of the short term. And I've really been wanting to see them go all in. Now, this offseason, they have done a really good job of building a lot of depth, quality depth on their roster. A lot of it. Except at wide receiver and pass rush for now. Because it's a little thin there. With, again, Bowser and Ajabo coming off Achilles. Justin Houston gone. Pernell McPhee gone. So I just, that's the only thing. But overall, the roster, they pretty good. They're pretty good. But to get them over the top, and we'll see what these receivers do again. We'll see. But I feel like if they gave Lamar that guy, it would just open up things so much. And I keep seeing people talk about Mark Andrews. Yeah, you can line him up at X receiver. Yeah, you could, but he's a tight end. He's a tight end. And I keep seeing people try to cover the Ravens not going to get that guy receiver because, they got Mark Andrews. He could be that receiver. He's a tight end. And yeah, you can't move him everywhere, but what will be the problem with having that guy, that star quality at wide receiver, and having a Mark Andrews? The possibilities. That would be amazing. It would be amazing. And still you got a Rashad Bateman. Still you got Pro Trey Duvernay, Tyler Wiley. You still got all those guys. That would be lovely. Next question came from my guy Harry, and I appreciate you being a patron as well. He said, "Hey, Ingraven, the team, keep it clean. With the news of Derek Wolfe being released, it makes sense why the Ravens had Jason Pierre-Paul at the castle. Since the Ravens seem to want to get back to having a top 5 defense this season, do you think it would be a good move to sign JPP on a 1-year deal and then sign Justin Houston to the same also? If not, which one do you think they should sign?" I like that question. I like that. I would love if they signed both. I've been saying that. Y'all know how greedy I am. I would love if they brought back both. The more, the merrier. But even back to earlier part of your question, you said since the Ravens seem to want to get back to having a top 5 defense this season, I think that would not necessarily be easy for them, but I feel like it would be easy for them. If everybody's healthy, I think they're top 5 for sure. Straight up. If everybody's healthy, they're top 5 already. I feel like that's almost a lot, man. Like, straight up. And that was like, because Ravens defense, and of course the offense has had a lot to do with it, when Lamar's out there. But with the Ravens defense, they've already been pretty good. And that's without a pass rush. They ain't had no pass rush in years, man. But last year they dropped way down, but everybody was hurt. Years before that, they always up there, man. So I think them having a top 5 defense, as long as they're healthy, they'll be straight on that. But yeah, I would love to sign both. If I had to choose one of them, it's crazy because what's funny, Mike McDonald, though, he changes everything. So I guess you could do any, mini, money, mo. Because I was about to say, what's funny is that both of these guys, they have been, JPP minus last year because he was hurt, but both of these guys have been known to be very productive. But Justin Houston got over here, and he was not productive in the sack department. But you know about Ravens' scheme that they had. And that scheme, it just wasn't the best for pass rushers for their productivity. Because you as a pass rusher, outside linebacker and whatnot, you have to do a lot of different things, which can be a good thing, but it can also take away from the overall, the sack production, your production. It's going to take away from it. Because you're dropping back in the coverage, you're covering the flats, you're covering the middle of the field, you're doing so many different things. And it is nice to be able to be used to do different things, to have that variety. You're not just, okay, every time he's on the field, he got his hand in the dirt and he's rushing the passer. So it's nice to be able to throw offenses off and whatnot. But overall, from the scheme, we just had not seen the production in sacks like that. But now with Mike McDonald, especially with what he did for Aiden Hutchinson and David Ojabo, so it seems as if he is really going to maximize the pass rushers that the Ravens have, whoever they end up being. So if I had to choose between JPP and Justin Houston, I could really do any, mini, miny, mo. I know Justin Houston last year, he was really good against the run. JPP, we know he is a quality pass rusher, always has been, and probably always will. Well, hopefully. Getting a little up there, but still, he could play. And he got them long arms too. So really, I wouldn't mind either one. But me, if I had to choose one, I would pick both. Next question came from my guy Marco, and appreciate you being a patron as well. He said, "What's good, Ingraven?" I appreciate you always in the comment section too. I always see Marco G up in there, but appreciate you anyway. He said 2 questions between Morgan Moses, Falele, and Juwan James. Who do you think can handle T.J. Watt better on the right side? I mean, anybody who's out there, he gonna be a problem for anybody. Ronnie Stanley was out there; he's a problem for him too. When he did go against him, but he's gonna be a problem for anybody. So, I mean, Morgan Moses, he got the most experience out of the 3. Falele seems as if he got the most potential out of the 3. So I mean, but he ain't got the experience. So he get out there, T.J. Watt gonna be like, oh yeah, this is a big giant, but oh, he's a rookie. Oh yeah, I got something for him. But hey, Falele might have something for him too. But we'll see. But if I had to choose, I would say Morgan Moses based off of the current level of experience, and just that raw strength. Man, he got that old man strength. But anyway, he says so we'll see. But regardless who it is, T.J. Watt is one of the best pass rushers in the league, and some people call him the best pass rusher in the league. But anybody's going to have a problem. Any one of these 3 is going to have a problem. He says, secondly, if you had to redo the 2019 draft, would you still draft Hollywood over A.J. Brown, Deebo Samuel, and a DK Metcalf? Keep up the grind. Peace. That is a very, very interesting question. But guess what? I guarantee you, with these Baltimore Ravens, because I know a lot of people talk about this, like, oh man, Ravens, and they said it back then too. So you got to give them that credit, because people said back then, oh yeah, Ravens should have taken A.J. Brown or Deebo Samuel or DK Metcalf over Hollywood. But I guarantee you that in the Ravens system, DK Metcalf would not be the DK Metcalf that we know. Deebo Samuel would not be the Deebo Samuel that we know. A.J. Brown would not be the A.J. Brown that we know. It's very easy to say Ravens should have drafted one of these guys over Hollywood. That's cool. Everybody got their own opinion. That's fine. But scheme matters. System matters. The offense matters. Whatever receiver it may have been, young receiver too, obviously would have been a rookie back then. I don't think that would have mattered. Now, they still could have done their thing here, because Hollywood exploded on the scene and did his thing. And, hey, and then in the playoffs, he came through even more. Like, oh, okay, Hollywood, let's go, baby. But with Hollywood, it would have been the same thing, man. Now, they would have had opportunities, because Hollywood, he dropped a lot of passes. Not a lot. He dropped, 6? But I think with Hollywood, because a lot of people don't like Hollywood, so they highlight the drops even more. He did have some significant drops, but his drops were I think it was either average with the league. Because there were other receivers that had more drops than Hollywood. But they also had more yards and more big plays and stuff like that too. But But yeah, I know with people's view on Hollywood with his drops get extra emphasized, and especially because of the moments, because the moments where the drops come, because a drop is never good. A drop is never good. But with the moments that his drops came in, people like, ooh. And then everything that he said about the offense, people like, oh, you said all about the offense, and you dropped those passes, da da da. But yeah, he had like his drops were like normal for the league as far as the number of them. But anyway, so yeah, any of these guys, they would have fit in, especially with their physical style of play. I know with Hollywood a lot, he would run out of bounds, and I think that's an Oklahoma thing. But they run out of bounds, they really try to protect their body. And I think with him dealing with that, I think the Liz Frank injury and just recovering from it, a lot of times when he would sort of like slide or something like that, run out of bounds, something like that. But you look at these guys like Deebo Samuel, AJ Brown, DK Metcalf. Those some big boys right there. Those some big boys. So I think with them, if they would have been in Ravens offense, they may have gotten a little more yak. They may have initiated some more contact, ran into some people like head on a little bit more. So I mean, it would have been tricky, man. If I had to choose one, and it's crazy because I would be choosing one based off of what they've done over the past 3 years. Now, again, I don't think it would have been the same had they been with the Ravens, because Ravens run first. These teams, 49ers will run first, but AJ Brown, they just get him the ball. I mean, Deebo Samuel, they get him the ball in 50 million different ways. Titans all run first, but they do implement a lot of the pass as well. And the Seahawks, they were a little bit of both at different times. Sometimes they will run first, but then they, of course, the let Russ cook, and you know how that went. But all these teams, their passing game is a much more efficient and effective passing game than the Ravens is. But if I had to choose one, it would be either AJ Brown or DK Metcalf. Deebo, he done had his fair share of injuries. He been nice. He's still been nice, and he been very effective. And he is a monster yak guy. And that's what Ravens have been lacking for a while. But he is a very physical presence. But I wonder, like, thinking about the way that he plays, again, that's how 49ers use him, though. Who knows how the Ravens would have used him. But if the Ravens would have used him the way the 49ers use him, that could have taken a lot off of Lamar, because they would have had another one of those players who was like, the more you can do. Because with Lamar lead the team in passing, lead the team in rushing. It's like, oh, okay, relax, y'all, please. But with Deebo Samuel, leading the team in receiving, leading the team in rushing. But that guy, he can run the ball too. And I wonder if they would have really used him like that. Probably, because you see how they do with Devin Duvernay. Jet sweep king. Oh, hey, jet sweep. Hey, 13, come here. Hey, you up? Oh, receiving play. Hey, 13. No, still with him. Jet sweep. Hey, come through, man. So, but it's one of those things where it's tough. It's very tough to look back and be, oh yeah, it would have been. Oh yeah. Only because of Ravens' offense, their style of offense. And the last question on this episode came from my guy Martin, and appreciate you being a patron, Martin. He said, Ingraven, I just want to get your thoughts, and this is something I keep hearing. Some Ravens fans say we need to give more of an opportunity to our young guys and don't need a proven guy. Now, here's my argument. Our young guys need to create offer those opportunities themselves, and here's why I think this. Look at Mark Andrews. I believe he was a third-round pick, and when he was drafted, they also drafted a first-round tight end. Yes, that was Hayden Hurst. There was a lot of competition at the tight end position, and he didn't even start out as the favorite, but he made the most of every opportunity he got, and because he did, he was given more opportunity. That's true. Mark Andrews, Hayden Hurst was a first-round pick, picked over Lamar Jackson, too. He was a first-round pick, and he was looking good. Preseason was looking good, catching everything that was thrown his way. He got hurt. Mark Andrews was like, okay, I feel bad for my guy, but you know what? Let me step in. Let me try to do my thing. And he did it. And the rest was history from there. It was history from there. So he said, yes, I understand John Harbaugh and Greg Roman are big factors to the lack of success at wide receiver position, but I also don't think our current wide receivers have made the most of their opportunities when and if they catch the ball. They usually don't pop off for a big play. And yes, I know not every single catch is going to be a big play, but you have to do something. Now with the our young wide receivers opportunities, it's very tricky because when you look at it, Tylan Wallace, he wasn't out on offense that much. He wasn't out there that much. And he wasn't expected to be. He was a 4th round pick. But he wasn't out there that much. He was out there for what did he get, 3 catches, maybe? Because I remember that one catch where he stumbled for a first down. I think maybe he got maybe 2 other catches, but he was hurt. But he wasn't out on the field too much. Then he got hurt. Okay, end of his season. Boykin, he was hurt early on. He just was never used last year. Prochet, he wasn't really out there too much. When he did have the ball thrown his way, he did make some stuff happen. But then he started being a healthy scratch. And it was like, oh, okay. Devin Duvernay, they don't use him as a wide receiver. They use him as a gadget guy. Rashad Bateman, he missed the first 5-6 games. Then he was out there. But then and Lamar is getting him that ball and throwing him that ball. But then Lamar got hurt. That was that. Hollywood was out there. That's Lamar's guy. When Lamar was out there, Hollywood getting them numbers. Lamar went out. Hollywood numbers all dropped. So with the wide receiver and the opportunities, we really we haven't seen consistency in their opportunities, and there's been a lot that's happened that sort of derailed their opportunities, whether it be a coaching decision, whether it be an injury, whether it be whatever. So it's really hard to really gauge how much opportunity they've truly gotten. But yeah, it is important that they make the most of it, but it's important that you even get one in the first place. You even get a shot in the first place. So it's tricky with them. Now, again, I still want them to add a wide receiver. Anyway, he said if Torrey Smith didn't make the most of his opportunity, you think they would give him a big role, give him as big of a role that he had? Yeah, Torrey Smith, again, injury threw him in there. Lee Evans, they traded for Lee Evans from the Bills. Lee Evans was out there the first game, then he got hurt. Insert Torrey Smith, week 2, he's a starter against the Rams in St. Louis, 3 touchdowns. First 3 catches of his career, all touchdowns. 3 touchdowns. I was like, okay, let's go. And I remember with Torrey Smith, I remember in preseason that year, I remember being so scared, this is a 2nd round pick from Maryland. Yeah, he's from Maryland, but yikes. Because in the preseason, he was looking scared. He was dropping passes. They were trying to throw little screens. He was dropping. I was like, yikes. Ooh. But he's one of those guys that he may not like studying, but he'll show up for that test. He'll show up for the test. And he did have some drops in the regular season and stuff too, but he made a lot of big plays for the Ravens. A lot of pass interferences too, but a lot of big plays for the Ravens. He said, people want us to stop doubting our receivers, but they haven't shown us much of anything. Our current wide receivers on the roster combined for 3 touchdowns in all of 2021. Devin Duvernay, he caught the one in the back of the end zone, one hand. Rashad Bateman, he should have had another one, but Rashad Bateman, what was his first touchdown at? I know he got, I forgot what game it was. But anyway, and who else? I know Devin Duvernay, he recovered that fumble by Tyson Williams for a touchdown. So is that one of the touchdowns you're counting? Because James Prochet, he didn't score a touchdown. Tylan Wallace didn't. Is that it? That might. Wow. Yeah, because Rashad Bateman caught one. Yeah, I think that might be it. So Rashad Bateman's catch, Devin Duvernay's catch, and Devin Duvernay's fumble recovery. Is that really it? No, that can't be it, right? Oh, wow. That might be it. Unless I'm missing something. Y'all let me know if I'm missing something. But he said, sorry for the long statement. I just had to rant a little. Hey, it's all good. Well, sometimes we all just got to get it out.